What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so NFL Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre told lawmakers on Capitol Hill today that he was recently diagnosed with Parkinson's disease as he testified before the House Ways and Means Committee investigating Mississippi's misuse of welfare funds, a scandal that has tainted the Green Bay Packers legend after his retirement. Funny, you guys say that, but I never see you guys really talk about it. Oh well. Anyway, at a hearing titled Reforming Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, or TANF, states misuse of welfare funds leaves poor families behind. The former quarterback said state officials, quote, failed to protect federal TANF funds from fraud and abuse, and then attempted to blame him, saying, quote, when it started, I didn't know what TANF was. Now I know TANF is one of the country's most important welfare programs to help people in need. Favre, wearing a sports coat, untucked dress shirt, and blue jeans, told the committee he was recently diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. I also lost an investment in a company that I believe was developing a breakthrough concussion drug I thought would help others. And I'm sure you understand why it's too late for me, because I recently was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Favre, who was 54, said he was under a gag order that prevents him from discussing the details of the case. He has not been criminally charged, but faces a civil lawsuit stemming from his advocacy to state officials to obtain federal TANF funds. At least $77 million in TANF funds supposed to be given to poor families were instead given to rich people, according to a Mississippi state audit. Let me say this. I'm very sorry that Brett Favre was diagnosed recently with Parkinson's. I really am. I'm sorry, you know. It seems like there is an abundance of football players and boxers who are ultimately diagnosed with neurological diseases or disorders. The worst being probably CTE and ALS. There seems to be a disproportionate amount of them that have this. And I can't help but think, I'm no scientist, I'm no doctor, but I can't help but think that there's some correlation between the damage that's done to their brains playing football. I read somewhere that a football player who started playing pee-wee football at the age of 7 or 8 and have been fortunate enough to play in the NFL for at least 10 years. So that's 30 years of wear and tear, have had the equivalency of damage to their brain of being in 70,000 car accidents. That's what I've read somewhere before. So that definitely has to have some effect. And we see the evidence that shows that, you know, Aaron Hernandez, Junior Seau, Mike, what's his name? Was it Mike Scott? Was that his name? Mike Scott? Who was this? Mike Starr. I think his name was the center of the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the 70s, I think very early 80s. He's, I think, the first known confirmed case of CTE. All these guys, man, so many legends in football that ultimately got CTE. Frank Gifford was diagnosed late in life with CTE. So it's something that even if it doesn't happen when you're younger, ultimately, if you're fortunate to live into your 70s, 80s, and even 90s, it could develop then. Then ALS. What's his name? Mike Gleason, I think it is, with the Saints. He has ALS, and thankfully he survived a very long time with it. Hopefully he survives more years in the future. Uh, Mongo McMichael has ALS, football player. So it's something that's very prevalent. Now, having said all of that, Brett Favre, you're an angel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bro, so you were deceived all those years into receiving all those millions of dollars. The text messages show that you knew what you were doing. The evidence shows that you knew what you were doing. I don't buy that. You were friends with these people, the former governor and all these other individuals. You were friends with them. So all of them knew all of this information, but you didn't know it. You didn't know it. Really. And to me, as sorry as I am that he has been diagnosed with this, and the man suffered so many concussions when he played, I can't help but think that some of this is trying to get sympathy. Okay. Not to mention the fact that there's evidence that outside of the TANF thing, you were suspected of taking monies from these charities, from cancer patients. What was it? Kids with cancer? That it was evidence that he was taking some of that money that's supposed to go to kids with cancer and diverting it to other things. Now, maybe not necessarily just personal stuff, but still, that money's supposed to go to kids. And you're taking money and putting it and diverting it somewhere else. Maybe for personal stuff. I don't know. You know, then you guys are wealthy. And it's not just Brett Favre. But then again, I'm going to use the same logic. Like I said, it's not just Diddy. It's not just Diddy. He's the fall guy. Yes, he's guilty of a lot of things. But the prosecution, the feds, they're going to have to prove their case. I still believe in the thing innocent until proven guilty. Now, there's a lot of circumstantial evidence to show that Brett Favre is guilty. Okay? As a matter of fact, I would argue that there's more evidence to show that Brett Favre is guilty of what he's been accused of than Diddy. Yeah, Diddy's a scumbag. Yeah, Diddy had these parties, but these were willing participants. These weren't people that was forced into doing that. The worst thing that he did was beat Cassie. So that was to be damaging of his character. Okay? But, you know, we don't have the videotape for it. We don't have the videotape to prove this. But I think it was Tawana Brownlee. She said that Bill Clinton assaulted her so hard he nearly severed her nipple when he raped her, savagely raped her. Didn't act like he didn't know who she was years later. He has a long history of assault with women. Did Me Too ever go after him? No. Has he ever been really forced to apologize? No. Did he really pay for Monica Gate? Nope. I mean, he was impeached, but he survived. Nixon had to resign because of a third-rate burglary. Nobody profited from Watergate. There was no bodies attached to Watergate, you know, unlike possibly Whitewater with Vince Foster, but they, you know, can't prove it. It is what it is, man. It's a selective outrage in this country. But yeah, man, I'm sorry that Brett Favre has been diagnosed with that, man. You know, a lot of people have this disorder. But as I said before, he's not innocent. You know, yeah, he didn't know where all this money came from. You know, yeah, Brett Favre is just a Forrest Gump level idiot. He just thought they were going to give away millions of dollars. He didn't know what TANF was, he says, he claims. I guess. Even though he rubbed elbows with billionaires and millionaires all the time, he don't know what TANF is. He just was taking all this money, didn't know where it came from. Yeah, that sounds like a smart businessman, right? Come on, man. Damn slime ball. You know what he did. And it ain't just this, man. He has a history of horrible behavior. Have we forgotten the allegations of assault, the allegations of harassment with women? Come on, man. But, because he's Brett Favre, it is what it is. It's just whatever, man. I'm just tired of the selective outrage that people have, bro. Deshaun Watson, there was a million videos for this dude. So many articles, TMZ nonstop Deshaun Watson. With Brett Favre is a very detailed, legalese article. I noticed that whenever there are certain people who are legal issues, you see all this legalese to complicate matters, and it puts people in fogs, and it just, this must be a legal matter. I don't know. But when it's the Diddy or the Deshaun Watson or, Michael Irvin, it's simplified. It's simplified, and it's sex, assault. Even with Roethlisberger, it was legalese, and then it was written in a way so that it made Roethlisberger like he could possibly be innocent. Well, these alleged claims. I mean, these women, they allegedly say this, but Roethlisberger, prior to this, didn't have any criminal record. Whatever. All I'm saying is, man, the evidence strongly suggests that Brett Favre was a creep, and that doesn't take away from him. Sorry that he was diagnosed with that, but he's still a creep, and it is what it is. That's all I got to say about it. And the civil suit, he really should be criminally charged, to be honest with you. I'm sympathizing with him, but I don't excuse that. Nope.